Week 17 in the NFL. There's only 1 week to go, and headlines probably should be about all the playoff clinching scenarios and all of the stuff that's going on in the NFL, but no. Instead, we woke up this morning and late last night with headlines of the idiotic, stupid, and unexplainable moves by Antonio Brown. Let's talk about that today. Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. My name is Cameron Simpson, and with week 17 we should be talking about the playoff clinching scenarios and the big time stories in the sports world. Instead, we're talking about a move on the field that is unexplainable, honestly, and there really is no good reason behind it. We're talking about Antonio Brown and what happened after the field. If you have not seen it yet, I recommend go look it up, look up Antonio Brown, you'll find a video of it. We're going to talk a lot about this today because this is dominating the NFL headlines, and it's going to dominate our show today. So, first things first, let's talk about the incident itself. It appears in the middle of the game before the second half. Antonio Brown decided to rip off his jersey, his shoulder pads, and all that, then rip off his undershirt, throw it into the crowd, take his glove off, throw it into the crowd, something you would see in a movie, to say, walk across the field as the field of play is happening. And as he did that, he continued to be pieced out the crowd and left to the locker room. Some reports are flying in that he even went to the airport shirtless. He never even took his shirt off. He just left. And that forced Bruce Arians to say, it's it for Antonio Brown. And then Tom Brady defended him. We'll get to that in a second. But this is unexplainable. Why would somebody do this? And some people lean to maybe a mental health issue. Some people lean to, was there something else going on, especially with Tom Brady's comments? Nevertheless, until someone proves me with proof of any of that, there's no reason to be defending Antonio Brown. This guy put his team, number one, his team needs him more than ever right now. Needs Antonio Brown big time, and he let his team down. There's no reason to defend this player. I cannot find a logical reason to be defending this player right now. He put his team at risk. Nevertheless, now they need to find it. They really are short on wide receivers. Nevertheless, what he did hurt his team, and it hurt the look of him and himself. And then it comes out later, he's still posting and promoting his new song. I was born in the pits, not the palace, I think the song is called. So he's still out there promoting his new song on his Twitter page, business as normal for Antonio Brown. Nothing has changed. He is continuing to promote things, even though after being cut from a team, he continues to promote how, well, look, I just put out this new song, and that's awesome. He is just potentially, I would say, he's just a bad person. Can we just admit that some people are just bad people? Is he just a bad person? There's something else going on. We don't know. There could be something else going on behind the scenes. But I mean, let's look at his history. He has left teams out to dry. He has cut them short of money. He has faked the vaccination card, and he has abused people. And he still has a spot in the NFL. That to me is the number one thing right there. As Antonio Brown still has a spot in the NFL. He still has a spot. And after all he has done, he still stands in the league. Abusing people. Faking a vaccination card when the NFL is trying to look good with their COVID protocols. Then now he's done. And if he finds another job, I think the NFL is a failed organization. You cannot let Antonio Brown get back in the league. I'm sorry, you can't. This guy is ridiculous. I mean, this was a ridiculous move. If you want to leave your team under your contracts. Don't throw a hissy fit in the field like a baby and make yourself look absolutely horrible. He ripped off his jersey. He threw. Was there relationships going on behind the scenes that we don't know about? Where there's some players talking about things. Was Antonio Brown being, per se, bullied in the locker room? What was happening? Or is it a mental issue? Is there some other things? Or is it just that he's a bad guy and he's letting his team up like he has done for many times. I mean, I think there's one of those cases you can put on there. Is Tony Brown just a bad guy? Or is there something else going on? And the people that are defending him this morning, I don't think you can do that. And that includes Tom Brady. Tom Brady's statement is an interesting one, and there's a lot to dissect in it. I'm going to read it to you in a second. But the number one thing I got out of his statement is he did state that Tony Brown needs help and support. That leads me to believe that Tom Brady knows something that we don't, is Tom Brady knows Tony Brown a little better than we do, of course. So is a Tony Brown have some issues, and Tom Brady's just saying, he needs our support. I don't know. Nevertheless, I don't think it needs to be the top. I think it made Tom Brady look very bad yesterday, commenting and putting his support towards Tony Brown. I think that made Tom Brady look very bad. If I was any advisor to Tom Brady for the press or anything, I would not have let him make that statement. If I was a Tony Brown, I would also not have just gone business as normal and tweeted out my new song and continuing to promote that. So, this is what Tom Brady said. Here's the statement. I think everyone should hopefully do what they can to help him in ways that he really needs it. We all love him. We care about him deeply. We want to see him at the best. He says, and unfortunately, it won't be with our team. Brown, again, lying about his vaccination status. He has lied to teams. He has sticked up teams. He has, he's been accused of other things. This guy is not the best guy in the world. And I think it is safe to say that Antonio Brown is a failure of Tom Brady, because Tom Brady has mentioned it many times. Oh, I brought him into my home. He's mine, I've helped him like this and this. I'm sorry, Tom, but you can do whatever you want. You can't fix this guy. And that's a failure on your part, Tom. And you can't be defending him. I mean, honestly, one of my thoughts, and I'm going to be honest with you guys here, one of my thoughts when I heard this statement was, does Tony Brown have some blackmail on Tom Brady or something? Because why is Tom Brady making this statement? Why is he defending him? And I think partially after listening to it again, I think Tom Brady doesn't want this to be put back on him. He doesn't want this to be treated as a failure of him. This is a failure of the NFL, a failure of the Buccaneers, mostly a failure of the Buccaneers, and a failure on Tom Brady. It's a failure on many levels in this league. Put a guy like this back in the league. And I don't think we'll see him again. I don't at all. I mean, if we see him in the league again, then I would be honestly surprised. But you know what? I was surprised after he left the Patriots and we almost saw him back again. I was very surprised. So if we see Antonio Brown back again, I would be very shocked. But for AB, I gotta say adios. See you later. I don't think you deserve a spot in the NFL. And, I mean, Tom Brady defending him was shocker. But business as normal for Antonio Brown. That's why it leads me to believe something's up with this guy. And he definitely needs to be looked at, checked out, or something, because this guy is not right, I don't think. But nevertheless, if he is, he's just a bad guy. And he needs to leave the league. I'm sorry. No defending him. What he did was wrong. What he did was embarrassing to his team. Let his team down. Right move right then and there is to cut him. Was it premeditated? Did he say he was going to do this? That could have been the case as well. He could have premeditated this. But nevertheless, this is dominating headlines in the NFL. Not Super Bowl chances, not playoff chances, not who's going to go here and there. When I go onto the NFL app and hit news, the dominating stories are Antonio Brown. So I think that's something that is very key there. So the playoff picture is shaken up to be a crazy one, and a lot of clinching scenarios happened. So for these teams, the teams that are clinched are in green. They are clinched. The Bills are clinched, and the Patriots are clinched. The Chiefs, the Bengals, and the Titans all clinched their division as well. They're going to be division leaders. The Cowboys also clinched the division as well as the Bucks. The conference was clinched by the Packers, and the Cardinals and the Rams are locked in as well as the Eagles. So those are all your lock-in scenarios. The Eagles got locked in after a win against Washington, so Washington Giants are out. The Rams and the Cardinals, 49ers, are still in the hunt. They're not totally out yet, I believe. Or maybe they are totally out, and it was just the Saints that got booted there. Yeah, I think that's it. So the Buccaneers do clinch the division. The Saints have no chance either to the Falcons or the Panthers. with that. So, though that is good news for the Green Bay Packers, they have clinched their whole division. The AFC is still up in the air. I don't think anyone has clinched the AFC yet. At this point in time, no one has. It could be the Titans or the Chiefs at this point. They both have the same record. That will be settled at Week 18. That is your playoff scenarios right now. So the teams that I said were locked in. This team's in the hunt as well. There's some great games this weekend. The Patriots put up 50 points. So there was incredible stuff going on. But dominating headlines was Antonio Brown. I think we had to talk about that here today. That is it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I will see you again on Friday. Until then, have a great weekend, guys, and enjoy this Monday night. Not great weekend. Have a great week. Enjoy Monday night football, and then enjoy the Week 18 in the NFL. I'm excited for that, and I'll see you guys all on Friday. Until then, have a great day, everybody.